Have you heard that journaling is very good for mental health? Or have you been hearing the words like brain dump when you're anxious and time block every single day to be resilient and successful? All of them are actually right. It's true that today many therapists and psychologists are also suggesting one to start off with this habit. So, do you want to get started but aren't sure how to journal? Or do you seem to be falling off the bandwagon often, even after investing in expensive journals and spending hours and hours on YouTube watching planning and journaling videos? You are not alone on this. On this particular video today, I'll give you tools and techniques that will help you for a lifetime, and also there is a big surprise at the end of the video for you. So keep watching. Journaling to stay on top of our mental health is a great practice and is recommended by therapists around the world. But getting started is a sticky point for many people, and what's more difficult is staying accountable to the habit and investing time and energy into it. In an ideal world, we would just open a blank journal and our deepest thoughts would start pouring out onto the page, making us feel instantly better. But that's not how things work, isn't it? So, what is mental health? Let's get that quickly cleared even before we jump into this topic. Because often when I ask people, how is your mental health? What I hear from them is, oh, I'm good, I'm not sick, I don't have depression, anxiety, or a bipolar problem. It's almost like saying, oh, I don't have cancer, liver cirrhosis, or cardiac issues, so I'm physically fit. So does that make sense? It doesn't, right? So absence of a disease isn't called mental health. As per WHO, I really like this definition, and maybe I'll read this out for you. Mental health is a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential and can cope with normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to contribute to her or his community as well. Thinking about this definition, for many of us, juggling work, deadlines, family commitments, parental guilt, financial pressure, and societal expectations, mental health seems to be a very big challenge. We may not feel like we are realizing our own potential, and coping with the normal stresses of life can be exhausting and make us feel numb mentally. As a result, we might find it hard to stay productive at work and contribute as magnificently as we would like to on our relationships with family and friends, or professionally too. We may not have anxiety or depression per se, but we probably feel anxious or depressed regularly. Sounds like you or someone you know? Well then, let's find out how a journal can come in handy at these times and how to start off. Because these are really critical things for each one of us to work on. So, two important things to keep in mind. One, your journal can help you deal with your emotions. Yes, you heard it right, and you will learn to call each emotion by its name and labeling what's coming in your way of your wellness. Our ability to deal with emotions is one of the greatest skills that we can master using a journal. Dealing with emotions is a proven way to build resilience, manage stress, and improve optimism and happiness when done the right way. So we might want to deal with emotions like anxiety, nervousness, frustration, or just being constantly overwhelmed with deadlines and commitments. Emotions are the key drivers of behaviors. When that emotion is good, then things go well for us. But if the emotion is not ideal, then this can become a problem. It's important that you learn to identify these emotions and call them by their names. Like in the Tall Elephants journal, when you every day track those emotions, you know what is it that you need to conquer, and you'll later also be able to identify your triggers and your reactions. Because reacting purely to our emotions can lead to anxiety, stress, depression, and saying or doing things that we regret later. But if we learn how to deal with emotions productively, then we set ourselves up to choose better options. Your journal is a great place for this to happen. If we aren't able to deal with emotions effectively, our mental health obviously suffers. Stress, anxiety, frustration, and other feelings overwhelm us, dragging us into the feeling of helplessness. 2. Getting it off your chest. Your journal can double up as your therapist or as your best friend, and you can use it to just pour down your thoughts and feelings into it. And trust me, this activity will help you in shutting the amygdala down and gaining control back of your prefrontal cortex, which will help you find cognitive solutions and logical outcomes. With just these two fundamental but very important reasons, I hope you now have your reasons to why you have to journal for your own well-being. Now, where do we start from? If we are a beginner, what do? Take an empty book and create your own bullet journal or a spread that is welcoming for you, and start off on the journey of self-reflection as you would do it on a clean slate. You can start there. Or if you need help and you need prompts to start off, then you can download a free self-reflection journal which I personally curated for my community here. Go ahead and use it. I'll leave the link to it in the description box below. Else, you can invest in a full-fledged journal which helps you track everything and makes you feel safe as home, and you also have total control of your mind and your life. You can take a look at our dated journal from the Tall Elephant, which is the most loved product and recommended by physicians and therapists too today. So start anywhere. And if you are someone who seems to love the idea of it, you start but you fall off the practice, then here is something we are doing at the Tall Elephant. Come over. This is something super special. We've called out for a 7-day journaling challenge starting from the 26th of August 2022. Join us. I will be there personally to help you every single day to explore and understand dimensions of this practice. I'm sure you will get hooked onto the habit of journaling and planning for a lifetime after this. We have limited seats, so make sure that you make up your mind soon and hop on. This too is pro bono and absolutely free for all the participants this time. The link to the challenge is also in the description box below. So there you have it. You know why journaling is good for you, and you also know where to start, and you also have tools and resources to make sure you don't fall off the wagon. Start now, my friend. Start now before it's too late. And with that, I would want to see you on these couple of video recommendations that I have for you. Come over, let's continue our chat there.